Здраво! Добре дојавте во уште еден час од проектот Е-училница. Ова е час наменет за учениците од 9 одделение. Се надевам дека сте добри, дека се чувате, дека седите дома и се надевам дека ова ќе биде доволно интересно да научите нешто ново и продуктивно да поминете времето. Пред да започнеме, само накратко да кажам дека покрај компјутерот ќе ви биде потребно пенкало или молив и тетрадка и исто така по одредени делови од видеото ќе треба да го запирате видеото за да може да одработите одредени вежби кои што се подготвени и потоа продолжувате со следење на часот. Денес работиме за употреба на future simple и going to за искажување на идност. Нормално, прво ќе разгледаме формата, односно се извинувам, прво ќе разгледаме употребата, по кои ситуации се употребува future simple и going to нормално, а потоа и нивната форма, а потоа следуваат и вежби после секое презентирање на формите. Future simple tense. So the first question is, how do we form the tense? We form the will future with the auxiliary will and the infinitive of the verb. We use the same form of the verb every time, regardless of the subject. So this is very important, and you will see this from the following examples. First, let's see, when do we use the future simple? We use it when we make decisions at the time of speaking. So something that we have not yet planned. This is very important. Something that we have not planned. Here are some examples and situations. I left the door open. I will close it right now. Or if you're in a restaurant, oh, what would you like to drink? I will have a cup of coffee, please. Or another situation. Did you call Sue? No, I forgot it. I will call her tonight. So please stop the video and just look at these examples. Just look at the situations, but also at the form of the verbs. Next, we use the future simple when we express personal opinion. For example, I'm a little hungry. I think I will have a sandwich. Or, I don't think I will go out tonight. I am too tired. Also, please, just look at the examples, the form, the ways it is used, and the meaning, of course, of the situation and the sentences. We also use the future simple when we make offers, promises, and predictions. And here are some examples of these situations. When we offer someone a help, for example, don't worry, I will help you with your homework. Or if we promise, like for something, for example, I will love you forever. Or if we make a prediction, you will be rich. Please, again, look at these examples, what they mean, how they are used, and of course the form of the auxiliary and the main verb. Now let's look at the forms. We start, as always, with the affirmative form. And what is important here is to know that there are long forms and also contracted or short forms. And most often in communication, you will use the short or the contracted forms. But we will look at all of them. First, let's take a look at the long forms. I will win the match. You will win the match. He will win the match. Now, let's take a look at the contracted forms and how they are different from the long forms. I'll win the match. You'll win the match. He'll win the match. Just stop the video here and take a look at the forms. The long forms, the contracted forms, see what's the difference between them and how they are used. We can go over to the negative form. Also, you can see that there are long forms here, but also contracted or short forms. And you will notice in the part of the short forms that there are two ways you can make a short or contracted form of the negative form of the future simple. Let's go over them. I will not win the match. You will not win the match. He will not win the match. Now let's take a look at the contracted forms. I'll not win the match, or I won't win the match. You'll not win the match, or you won't win the match. And he'll not win the match, or he won't win the match. If you just stop right here and take a look at these short forms of the negative form of the future simple, I want you to think about which form is most commonly used in communication. Now we go over to the interrogative form. This is very important. There are no contracted forms of the interrogative form of the future simple. I repeat, there are no contracted forms. So let's go over the long and only form of the future simple. Will I win the match? Will you win the match? Will he win the match? As I said, contracted forms are not possible. After we've gone over the usage and the forms of the future simple, I think it's time to do some exercises. There are sentences that are given here for you to go over and create create your own sentences by using the future simple. Stop the video here and please go over the sentences, write them down in your notebook, and after that you can check the answers and see if you've got the right answers, of course. Let's go over the answers. You will travel around the world. You will meet lots of interesting people. Everybody will adore you. You will not have any problems. Many people will serve you. They will anticipate your wishes. There will not be anything left to wish for. Everything will be perfect. But all these things will only happen if you marry me. I want you to, once again, look at these sentences and try to create short forms, but only out loud when you read them. For example, you will travel around the world. How would you make a short form of this sentence? For example, you'll travel around the world. Please try this with all the other sentences. Now we can go over to the second part of the lesson, or the uses of be going to. So, when do we use be going to? We use it when we have plans and intentions, something we have decided to do. So I repeat, this is very important. This is the main difference between will and be going to. We use be going to when we have decided to do something in the future. For example, today I'm going to drive my new motorcycle. Then I'm going to phone my best friend, and finally I'm going to read my favorite novel. Please look at the sentences and the meaning of the sentences, of course, and how is the intention or the plan expressed here. When do we use? We use it when do we use be going to? Sorry. We use it when we try to predict with present evidence. So the situation now makes us believe that. So when we have certainty that something is going to happen. For example, look at those black clouds. It's going to rain. Let's go over to the form of be going to. This is something that is also very important to remember. How do we form the going to future? We use a form of the verb to be, and there are three forms, of course. We know am, are, or is, going to, and the infinitive of the verb. So once again, we use the verb to be, the three forms of this verb depending on the subject. Then we add going to, and then we add the infinitive of the verb. What are the differences between be going to and the future simple? And here are some examples and how they are different. But also in their similarities. Will and going to similarity in usage. Both will and going to can be used for making future predictions without having a real difference in meaning. For example, I think it will be foggy tomorrow. I think it's going to be foggy tomorrow. Will and going to differences in usage. Will is used to express future actions decided at the moment of speaking, while going to describes future plans which are decided before the moment of speaking. For examples, I'll have salad now. Will. I'm going to visit my aunt next Friday. Going to. Will is used to indicate a prediction based on personal opinions or experiences, while going to is used to express a prediction based on present evidence. So this is the main difference. Opinion, experience versus evidence. For example, I think United will win the game. That's my opinion. Look at those black clouds. It's going to rain. I have a certain evidence because I'm looking at the black clouds and I know it's going to rain, sorry. Will also expresses a future fact. Going to is used to describe something is about to happen. For example, the sun will rise tomorrow. Will. Get back, the bomb is going to explode. Going to. So this is very important. Please stop the video here and just go over these similarities, but also differences, important differences between the usage of be going to and the future simple. How they are similar, how they are different, in which situations, how do we use them in each situation. Sorry. Now let's do some practice. Put in the verbs in brackets into the gap. Use will, future, or going to future. Stop the video, look at the sentences, and decide. Do you need to use will or do you need to use going to? Take your time. Don't take your time and just try to solve these sentences. Now, let's go over the answers. Philip will be 15 next Wednesday. They are going to get a new computer. I think my mother will like this CD. Paul's sister is going to have a baby. They will arrive at about 4 in the afternoon. Just a moment, I will help you with the bags. In 2020, people will buy more hybrid cars. Marvin is going to throw a party next week. We are going to fly to Venice in June. Look at the clouds. It is going to rain soon. Again, please check your answers, and I'm sure they are correct. If you want to do some more exercises for the differences, similarities, the usage, the form of future simple and be going to, please follow these links. And you will find some very good exercises which you can use to practice and, of course, get good practice and be successful in the completing of the task. Thank you for watching. Hope you're staying safe. Bye-bye.